Let the fun begin.
I turn it up another notch. I spike the punch, make it pop. Don't stop. Living my best life. Living my best life.
Hi, I'm Tim Schafer from Double Fine Productions, and 10 years ago, we teamed up with our friends at CruznMJD to start a festival of the best of independent games from every platform, bringing them together with the players, and also some food and drink and music, in a celebration of video games we call Day of the Devs. And it's been an amazing party for 10 years, but lately there's been this global pandemic and plague keeping us apart. But I'm happy to announce that here in the 10th year anniversary of Day of the Devs, we are live again here at our old venue, the Midway in San Francisco. And it's going to be an amazing party November 5th. It's free, it's all ages. There's going to be over 70 games and developers. You can come play the games, meet the developers, drink and eat and listen to music, and it's going to be an amazing time. And we're expanding from this big open room outdoors and even partying up on the roof just to keep it safe. So make sure it's fun and safe and a big party for everybody. So please RSVP below and come. Did I mention it's free? Thanks, sponsors. So I hope to see you here in San Francisco November 5th, but even if you're not coming, we've got an amazing digital showcase right now that you can enjoy, showing a lot of the great games that you're going to see at Day of the Devs, including some big heavy hitters and some world premieres. So sit back and relax and enjoy Day of the Devs. See it through my muscles.
Who doesn't love the Shovel Knight series? Well, developer Yacht Club Games is mixing it up with another retro riff, this time with Game Boy Color aesthetics. It's a little bit Link's Awakening, it's a little bit Bloodborne feels. Nobody does it like Yacht Club, and you're about to see why.
What's up? My name is Alec Faulkner, and I'm a game designer and director at Yacht Club Games. We're an independent game studio in Los Angeles, California. You may know us from the Shovel Knight series of games, or you might not know us at all, in which case, hey, it's great to meet you. But today we're not showing off another Shovel Knight game. Instead, we've got a brand new game with brand new gameplay set in a brand new world, and it's called Mina the Hollower. In this game, you'll play as Mina, a whip-wielding inventor thrust into a bizarre world full of monsters and mystery. She'll need both brains and brawn to take on the terrifying horrors that await in this challenging action-adventure RPG. You'll notice Mina's attacks are intentionally slow, so learning proper spacing and timing is crucial to Mina's survival. Spamming the attack button won't work here. But to balance things out, Mina has a powerful tool at her disposal, her signature burrowing technique. While burrowing, Mina can't be damaged by most enemies or hazards, so you'll be burrowing often to dodge danger and dig to safety. By defeating enemies, Mina can collect their bones, and if she collects enough, she's able to bone up on her research, increasing her knowledge of scientific fields like attack power or defense. Mina the Hollower also features a new art style that takes inspiration from the Game Boy Color era of portable gaming. That means our pixels are big, our color palettes are vibrant, and our characters are small and chunky, just the way we like it. We're currently deep into development and don't yet have a release date, but you can wishlist the game on Steam and learn more about it at yachtclubgames.com. By the way, we also live stream our work on Twitch sometimes, so if you want, give us a follow, and you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at our game development process, all the way from start to finish. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you check out Mina the Hollower when it releases. Bye-bye!
This next game might be the most Nordic game of all time. It's from Hyper Games in Norway, published by Raw Fury in Sweden, based on the Moomins IP from Finland, and scored by Sigur Rós from Iceland. This is Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley.
Hi, my name is Are, and I'm from the Norwegian indie studio Hyper Games. Together with our pals in Raw Fury, we are currently working on the game Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley. The game is a cozy adventure game about restoring harmony and balance to Moomin Valley. As a player, you will explore the valley, meet a lot of the inhabitants there, and help them solve quests and puzzles in various ways, many times using music as one of your main mechanics. The game is very much a love letter to the author, artist, illustrator Tove Jansson, who created the Moomins. And we want to try to capture a little bit of the magical Nordic atmosphere that shines through all of her work. The music for the game is composed by Oda Tilseth, and partly in collaboration with the Icelandic band Sigur Rós. We want to make something that feels like something Tove Jansson herself could have envisioned. To know more about the game, check out our website at snufkin.game and remember to wishlist on Steam.
This is a special one for I Am 8-Bit. Developer Quinn Crew Games got their starts in the arcade biz and the real-world escape room scene. Escape Academy was their very first console and PC title. It came out 4 months ago, has already become a runaway hit, and they already have their first DLC coming out, which is pretty sweet. It's called Escape from Anti-Escape Island, and we have the world premiere first look. And as a special bonus, we have a bunch of game codes to give away that are hidden throughout this broadcast. Maybe some are obvious, maybe some aren't so obvious. But if you freeze frame, you might get a free game out of it. Enjoy!
Race for impact!
What happened? Where the heck are we? Woohoo! We're alive! I don't know about this. Something about this juice lounge feels out of place. Hello? Anybody here? What the heck is up with this place?
Anti-Escape Island.
And now, from developer Worm Club out of Melbourne, Australia, I'm pleased to bring you the charming, irreverent, and epic conclusion to the Frog Detective series with the appropriately titled Frog Detective 3.
Hello, I'm Grace Brooksner, Creative Director of Worm Club. I'm here today to show you the final chapter of Frog Detective, Corruption at Cowboy County. In collaboration with the talented Thomas Bowker, Dr. Dan Golding, and Olivia Haynes, Worm Club has been working hard to deliver the most advanced and mind-blowing video game of the decade. You may think I'm joking, but you would be mistaken. As you may remember, the last Frog Detective adventure had you on the edge of your seat with the shocking notebook-stealing cliffhanger. Frog Detective 3 picks up right where we left off, with the detective's arrival to the Wild West to help lobster cops solve the mystery of the sheriffless county. But to the detective's shock, the case has already been resolved by the #1 best detective. We should have known. Lobster Cop's abilities far outweigh Frog Detective's. But despite this speedy resolution, it's not long before another mystery is afoot. All the hats in Cowboy County have gone missing. What the? It's Frog Detective's job to recover the missing hats, so you'll need to use your expert investigation skills to question suspects, find clues, and solve the mystery. Also, you can ride around on a scooter. We're so excited for you to play Frog Detective 3, Corruption at Cowboy County. With shocking twists and turns never before seen in the medium of video games, we know this exciting finale will make you say, I understand why this took 3 years. All 3 games are available now on Steam and Xbox PC Game Pass. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of Day of the Devs.
Our next game includes scenes and experiences that, while certainly everyday, are not often portrayed in media, such as menstruation and the proper hygienic care of your sex toys. The game's creators, Triple Topping, profess a desire to bring these types of untold stories to the forefront, to express their feminist ideals, and just to make the types of games they want to play. Dead Pets Unleashed follows a bassist, Gordy, and her punk band Dead Pets as they navigate a complicated world. Balance your well-being, your finances, and your band success, all while exploring relationships and performing various tasks just to get through the day. With its unique visual style and original soundtrack, Dead Pets Unleashed will have you vibing out until the very last set.
Hi, my name is Ames Searle, and I'm the marketing lead and co-writer at Triple Topping Games. We're an indie studio based in Denmark, with a love of strong narratives, minigames, and work-life balance. We're currently working on our next game, Dead Pets Unleashed. a feminist, narrative, and management light game about punk music, friendship, and growing up. Gordy, you'll shape the future of Dead Pets, a struggling demon punk band, before they decide to call it quits. Gordy has big plans for the group, but as the members have turned 30, life has gotten in the way. The gameplay is primarily conversations between the characters, with a whole bunch of minigames throughout to break up the dialogue. These minigames can include anything, from working a shift at Gordy's diner, and even a rhythm game for band practice, standing in line, you look just fine, but understand you'd be prettier if you smiled at me. It broke my wild. Why so angry all the time when I told you to smile? Come on, girl, what you wearing? You must also manage Gordy's well-being. The band's first taste of success comes at the cost of Gordy's mental health and physical well-being. Gordy struggles with what it means to be a victim and how to move forward. With multiple endings, Gordy will have the chance to grow up in different ways, depending on the choices you make. We're excited to announce that Dead Pets Unleashed will be coming to consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch when the game releases next year. The demo is currently out on Steam and itch.io, and we've just launched an additional episode of the game in the demo, so there's even more for you to check out. Please wishlist the game on Steam, and be sure to follow us on socials at Triple Topping. Hello woman, standing in line, you look just fine, but understand you'd be prettier if you smiled at me. It broke my wild. Why so angry all the time when I talk, you should smile. Come on girl, what you wearing? Tell the world you want to play this game.
So we've all heard of city building, but what about city unbuilding? In Terra Nil, the reverse city builder by Free Lives, you'll not only be tasked with reviving barren landscapes into thriving ecosystems, you'll then be challenged to remove any trace of your involvement, leaving the beautiful environs to the rehomed bears and deer. And who doesn't want to save bears? Restore a world's ecosystem with this fresh take on a popular genre. This is Terra Nil.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Hayoon. I work at an indie game studio in Cape Town, South Africa called Free Lives. I'm the art lead on a game called Terra Nil.
Welcome to Terra Nil, a reverse city builder where you are tasked with restoring the wastelands. Utilize windmills to power your facilities, cleansing the surrounding soil and preparing it for irrigation. Once the grasses and waterways have been rejuvenated, it's time to move on to more complicated ecosystems. Mangroves, swamplands, fields of flowers, rainforests. Actions that may at first appear destructive are, in fact, important aspects of a larger ecosystem. With the restoration of symbiotic habitats comes the return of biodiversity. Your work completed, it's time to pack your things and be on your way.
Terra Nil is coming to Steam in early 2023, as well as a simultaneous launch on mobile with Netflix games.
Next up, from developer Outer Loop, I'm thrilled to bring you Thirsty Suitors. Now, this game defies description. It's an interesting combination of skateboarding, cooking, dating, and battling. It's also Scott Pilgrim-esque, filtered through the lens of authentic Indian culture.
Hi, I'm Chandan Ekanaika, the creative director at Outer Loop Games, and I'm here in Timber Hills, Washington, to talk about Thirsty Suitors.
Hey y'all, you've been reckless with other people's hearts for so long, Jala. It was a matter of time before you wrecked your own. Morning, Ma. Wow, Jala.
Hi, Auntie.
You pissed off your exes so much, they organized against you.
Thirsty Suitors is an action-adventure RPG about immigrant culture, resolving relationships, family pressure, and expressing oneself. The player gets to shape Jala's fate while battling her exes in turn-based combat, skating, cooking, and through narrative choices. At the start of the game, Jala returns to her hometown of Timber Hills after wrecking her relationships with her family, friends, and her exes. Jala tries to repair her relationships with her family and friends through cooking. To blow off steam, Jala goes skating at her old skate park while battling skate punks and their leader, Soundy the Bear. Soon, Jala meets up with her third-grade ex-boyfriend, Sergio, who is still thirsty for her.
Your mom into this!
You started it!
I guess it's a good sign. Wow.
Sergio is one of 6 exes Jala will confront through the course of Thirsty Suitors' 10 chapters. Jala's overbearing grandmother has sent surprise suitors to win her hand. Will she ultimately reconcile her relationships? Who knows? Our inspiration for this game is based on our lived experiences and fantasies of our diverse team. While the game is at times personal, we think the specificity of the themes of family dynamics, love, and fighting with exes joyfully expressed in bigger-than-life colorful ways will resonate with wider audiences.
Time to cook. That's acceptable. Coming soon. Patience.
One of the most important genres of game to me is the adventure game, and the pioneers of that genre are Ken and Roberta Williams, the founders of Sierra, and Roberta Williams, the designer of King's Quest and Phantasmagoria. They have a new game that they are showing here at Day of the Dead, a reimagining of not one of their own games, but of Colossal Cave. That's right, the original adventure game. The text-adventure classic that started it all is being reimagined by Ken and Roberta as a 3D experience with VR elements. So I'm very excited to check it out along with you right now.
Hi, I'm Ken Williams, and your name is?
I'm Roberta Williams.
And we're known for creating a company called Sierra Online. They did some games that you might have heard of, like Half-Life, Leisure Suit Larry, a couple hundred titles, including about 20 by her. What did you do?
Oh, I did games like King's Quest, Phantasmagoria, Laura Bow Murder Mystery, among others.
Well, and how'd you get into the business? A leading question.
Well, I got into the business by playing a game called Colossal Cave back in early 1980. It was the first adventure game, computer game even really, developed, and I loved it, and I wanted to do my own game that was just like it, and I did, called Mystery House.
Well, to make a long story short, Sierra did very well. We grew it to 1,000 employees, ran it for almost 20 years. What happened to all our cruising? Why are we building a game again?
Why are we building a game
and what
again?
game are we building? Your turn.
And what game are we building? We're building Colossal Cave. That's the original game that I played, early 1980. And a text adventure game it was. And now we're bringing it back in full color, full 3D.
You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully.
Even as many times I've played it, every time I hear that opening line, it sends shivers through you. I mean, it's just such a cool line. I like the idea of the game because not many games in this industry have lasted 50 years. Very few games can say that, where people are still playing.
The door is closed. You see a small brick building. There's a shiny brass lamp nearby. You are crawling over cobbles in a low passage. Brass lantern. The brass lantern is shining brightly. At your feet is a small pit breathing traces of mist. The hall is filled with wisps of white mist swaying to and fro, almost as if alive. Rough stone steps go upward behind you, and an upward scramble to the south leads to a chamber.
It's perfect symmetry to take the game that started Sierra and do the same game for a whole new audience, for a new generation.
Yes.
It says you won't get it up the steps. You're in a low room. Veins of gold cover the walls.
Happy to be back building a game. We've got a large team. They've been working very hard for a very long time. And
it's a wonderful game.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Explore the vast darkness of the mythical Colossal Cave and find the valuable treasures held within. Beware the many obstacles that stand in your way and perilous encounters that threaten to end your quest quickly and without mercy. With many locations to traverse, secrets to find, and miles of caverns to explore, you'll never know just what your own adventure inside Colossal Cave will bring.
Next up, we have a world premiere from Jasper and Jonas. A fun fact is that they met playing Animal Crossing during the pandemic and decided to make this game together.
Hello, I'm Indiana Jonas.
And I'm Jasper Oprel, and we're super excited to introduce the world to our upcoming game, Surmount.
In Surmount, you're a little climber on a huge adventure. You're on the journey to become the first to climb the biggest mountain in the world, the mysterious Mount On. We wanted to make a game that conveys the fun of climbing, so we made a control scheme that is fun and easy for beginners, but allow hardcore players to do some pretty sick moves. As you explore Mount On, you will start to notice that it's always changing shape, which means you will never find two climbing routes that look exactly the same. In order to make it all the way to the top, you will have to make use of all kinds of items, like ropes, of course, but also more unconventional things like plungers and teleporters.
You know what? Bring a friend. If you're climbing together, then you'll always have someone to catch you when you fall. And you're not gonna have to do it alone. You're gonna meet many interesting characters. Maybe while you are climbing, or maybe when you're just settling in at one of the camps that you set up.
They will have all kinds of stories to tell, and maybe you will even uncover some of the mountain's many secrets.
Yeah, it basically has been a lot of fun to work on this game with Jonas. I hope that it shows in the game.
We're planning to release the game in 2023. You can either wishlist it on Steam now, or visit the website to learn all about it. We can't wait to tell you more.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon.
From our friends at Devolver Digital and developers Doinksoft, this next game stars a gruff bearded woodsman hell-bent on revenge and armed with a unique gun that doubles as an umbrella. As you investigate a series of cult-related kidnappings, you'll uncover a world ravaged by corporate greed that soon takes a turn towards the supernatural as you blast your way through ghouls, gangsters, cops and cultists alike. This is Gunbrella, or as we say where I'm from, Gunbrolly.
Hello. I am Britt Brady, president at Doinksoft. We are a small studio based out of Oregon, currently working on the title Gunbrella.
Developed in Portugal, this next title is inspired by classic 1980s anime and set among the neon, graffitied streets of Neo Hong Kong. It's an action-adventure that follows 3 different characters on 3 very different missions, which all intertwine with one another as the mysteries of this never-sleeping city reveal themselves to you. This is Evolutus.
Hi everyone, I'm Fernando Cruz, the director of Evolutis Duality.
And I'm Jay Cruz, the lead artist, and we are the founders of Poke Live Studio.
Evolutis is a 2D story-driven game that combines rotoscoping and hand-drawn animations. You can spot several references from 80s, 90s, and early 2000s animes, and of course, American cartoons. The game has a dark and mature tone, so it is not appropriate for kids whatsoever. However, violence can be prevented in Evolutis. It is up to you, the player, to decide how you go about it. Now let's talk about our main character, Chelsea Williams, a well-renowned wrestler struggling to deal with losses and loneliness. She only has one friend she can trust, which is her cat, Oliver. In the city of Shanghai, where the game takes place, nothing is what it seems. Everything is an abstraction. Pandas are corporate mascots, copies of animals nobody has ever actually seen. Virtual vacations to holographic places are used to sell illusions of escape. Only the player can decide where the fantasy ends and the horror begins. Right now I want to show you how the stealth infiltration gameplay works. Depending on the outcome of the fight, whether you win or lose, the story may change, which could cause an impact on the city or even in Chelsea's life. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to follow us in our social media.
With Day of the Devs celebrating 10 years, one thing that we've never actually done in a showcase before is feature retro games. We tend to focus on pre-release titles, not stuff that's already been out there for, a couple weeks, a couple months, or let alone years or decades. But we're making an exception today because we want to focus on developer Digital Eclipse. With the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection, they didn't just dust off a bunch of old games and slap them together. This is a marvelous collection that goes an extra 1,000 miles to be respectful to the source material, but also bring it into a modern age. Digital Eclipse is the best at this thing, and if you don't know who they are, you're gonna find out.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Micah. I'm president of Digital Eclipse. Our mission here is to celebrate the history of video games. And to do that right, this year we're celebrating Atari's 50th anniversary. To make this stand out from previous efforts, we actually approached this as more of a documentary. You navigate through this timeline, seeing artifacts from Atari's 50 years of existence. And along the way, you're introduced to the games that are contextualized by these artifacts. We don't want to just release another game collection. We actually want to go deeper than that. So we include things like interviews, design documents, historical flyers and ads. All these things we feel give context to everything we do, and especially give context to 50 years of Atari.
I feel the best Atari games ever made have been made in the last 5 years. Like, I think the homebrew scene is incredible. People have figured out, and it's unfair to compare because the original people had like 5 weeks to make, you know.
The only way we can really tell the story of Atari over 50 years is to gather and collect the stories from the people who were part of Atari, who were Atari.
It's fun to program for the 2600 because it's unique. It's so limited that it helps you edit, you know, and so you can't do everything. You can't imagine an experience and then implement it on the Atari. You have to go the other way around. Like, how many blocks can I move on the screen? Like, how can I turn that into a fun game?
I think for modern players, especially people who are really young, if they start to play a game like Adventure, it might come across as something very simple and crude. But in reality, the game is very complex. But for someone today, they don't really have that context. So what we're striving to do is to wrap that game with the sort of context that puts you back at that moment, back at that period of time when technology was still young, and hopefully impart what it felt like to see that game for the first time. We're used to seeing Atari arcade games, we're used to seeing Atari 2600 games, but we wanted to go a step further. With this collection, we wanted to make sure we included games from the Atari Lynx, the Atari Jaguar, as well as the Atari home computer line. One of the most interesting aspects of the Atari 50th for us was to revisit classic game designs, games like the early vector games that Atari had produced, or Haunted House for the Atari 2600, or Combat and Tank. What we set out to do was to take these design pillars from those games, the simplicity of those games, and reconstruct a modern take on that. And by creating these reimagined versions of these games, our hope is that we kind of act like a gateway drug of sorts to bring modern gamers into the fold of what Atari is and help them appreciate everywhere that Atari had been.
What is happening, everybody? My name is Justin Woodward, one of the founders of Black Voice in Gaming, a nonprofit organization based in Oakland, California, designed to highlight Black game developers by giving them a voice to be heard, opening up dev options with an accelerator that provides accessible opportunities that could lead to success through a network and a grassroots community that represents the culture with integrity and substance. BVIG started out as an online showcase during the 2020 civil unrest taking place because of the excess of police brutality that continues to occur. The initial showcase was created to be a positive force during the time, and the amount of support from partners in the game community was eye-opening. We have been collaborating with publishers, fellow devs, media outlets, and distribution platforms, as well as others to make this experience awesome. The accelerator has expanded past working with devs and discoverability, and we are now working with developers on funding options, mentorship, and introductions to various platforms such as PlayStation, Valve, Nintendo, and Microsoft, as well as publishers, lawyers, and creators who can collaborate during production. Thanks to Day of the Devs, we're going to showcase a couple of games that are a part of the Black Voice in Gaming cohort that you will definitely enjoy. First, we will be showing you the beautiful and charming action RPG Slime Heroes from Pancake Studios, and then we will slash into an arena-style competitive 3D fighting game, Samurai Zero from Neo Interactive. Let's check them out.
Slime Heroes is an action RPG where you can play as an adorable slime to save the world. The story follows your slime, who is discovering the world that appears to be consumed by a dark corruption.
Silva succumbed to the corruption with all the other guardians. You and I were among all that's left.
Slimes can defend themselves by forming different melee weapons to fight against this corruption, including swords, spears, hammers, and much more. Each GUI weapon has its own moveset for you to master. Each enemy drops different types of skill gems that your slime can consume and use. You can also make new skills by mixing and matching the different skill gems together. There are a wide variety of skills to discover, from fireballs to whirlwinds, meteors, and ice breath, to even becoming a giant bowling ball. As you adventure into the world, you'll come upon ancient ruins. These mini dungeons have some of the more puzzly content in Slime Heroes. There's a massive world to explore, overgrown jungles, snowy tundras, and molten hot mountains. As you go deeper into the parts of the world, you'll discover the corrupted ancient guardians. These are the toughest, most challenging boss battles in the game. Each boss has unique skill patterns to learn how to defeat. Once each boss is saved, they'll help you along on your journey by giving you new weapons or some of the most powerful skill gems in the game. Each boss saved leads you closer to unveiling the mysterious corruption. Please wishlist Slime Heroes on Steam. You can also keep up with the latest news and updates on Twitter and Discord.
Hello everyone, I'm Ethos. I'm one of the founders of Neo Interactive, a indie studio based in Detroit, Michigan, and today I'm excited to share with you guys our multiplayer PvP game, Samurai Zero. Victory! You play as a samurai, a superpowered being in our science fantasy universe called Edo. Each of these samurai have their own attack strings and combos, and then when on defense, you can actually dodge, deflect, and break an enemy's resolve with precision and finesse. Eliminating enemies and completing objectives grants you points, and in between these rounds, you can spend those points on unique talents that can enhance your samurai for the rest of the match. This allows players to customize their own playstyle a little bit. We wanted to give players different ways of playing, whether it be an intimate 1v1 duel or team-based 3v3 efforts like elimination or an objective-based game mode like Control.
I can't believe that worked!
If any of this sounds interesting to you, well, you can check out our game Samurai Zero currently right now available for wishlist on Steam, and look forward to our next development update and playtest. Thanks so much for checking out our game.
Yes, make sure to check out the BVIG games we just shared on today's Day of the Devs feature. Follow them on social media and wishlist their games on Steam or wherever they can be found. If you want to check out more hot developers from BVIG, please check the website, blackvoiceandgaming.org, and follow us on social media, Twitter @BVIGaming, and everywhere else @BlackVoiceandGaming. You can also support us through donations, which will go to developers in the form of grants and will help keep the lights on for operations as well. We have showcases popping up this winter and in the future, and we'll be collaborating on more events soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Day of the Devs, everyone, and much love to our hosts, Double Fine Productions and I Am 8-Bit. You guys are awesome. Peace.
We've got lots of world premieres in this Day of the Devs, and this one is a nice surprise from developer Strange Scaffold. Remember, they're the dev behind games that I'm going to attempt to pronounce in the right order. They got long titles. An airport for aliens currently run by dogs. I think I got that. And Space Warlord Oregon Trading Simulator. I think I nailed it. This one's a really awesome surprise. Enjoy.
Okay, are you ready? Once upon a time, a crew of adorable animals robbed the largest bank on the eastern seaboard, and they thought they got away with it. But the problem is, the money inside that bank belonged to the mob. And now you show up on their doorstep 12 years later, a private investigator, and they're telling you their story in return for amnesty. They're also letting you decorate their boat, because however horrible your fashion choices may be, it's still better than a bullet to the back of the head. My name is Oliver Nelson Jr., and I'm the creative director for the game that story belongs to, Sunshine Shuffle. It's a narrative poker adventure where hopefully you come to care about the people you're playing with more than the cards in your hand, just as they come to care about you. If anyone out there has a kid who learns to gamble because of this cute poker game with the adorable animals in it, I just want to offer my apologies and also say that's objectively funny, and if I can say this without being legally liable, I hope it happens. I'll be honest, I've worked on a lot of things and I've been up for nearly 24 hours now, but I can't remember the last time I was so excited and terrified to see how people would react to a world I had played a part in building. I want to thank the Day of the Devs people so much for giving us a chance to showcase our weird and wonderful game here. I want to thank you for giving it a shot.
Tim Burton once asked us to imagine, just for one moment, what life might be like for a man who had scissors for hands. Sure, he could cut your hair really well, but could he ever find love or be loved in return? Could he ever truly be accepted by society? This next game is bound to spark meaningful discourse in a similar light, as it asks you to don a VR headset and imagine, just for one moment, what life might be like if you had baseball bats for hands. How would you drive a car? How would you cook an egg? From the creators of What the Golf, this is What the Bat.
I'm Allie, I make the sounds.
And I'm Lucas, and I make the code. This game is about life, in the way that life in baseball is very similar.
It's the struggle.
And nobody really knows when it ends. I guess someone knows how to play, but not a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a game that requires a lot of skill to exist.
Yes. You live your life as Betty, who's born with bats instead of hands. You make breakfast. You go downtown. Play with arcade machines. Take care of your farm. You go to space. All the stuff that happens in a regular life.
There's one elephant, and then there's like another elephant. I think we were just existing.
We're all about sports, but don't really know anything about sports.
What the fuck is shortstop? And he's just like, obviously it's between base 2 and 3, and
Almost exclusively. Yes, absolutely.
very excited for you to learn about baseball.
That's chaotic.
That was, I mean, like, this is always gonna be chaotic, right?
Sabotage is one of my personal fave developers. The Messenger was totally fucking badass, and with Sea of Stars, they're paying homage to classic SNES RPGs in a way that's totally unexpected. They're making narrative decisions and creating pixel magic that is just mind-blowing. I cannot fucking wait for this game.
Hey everyone, my name is Thierry. I'm creative director over at Sabotage Studio in Quebec City, Canada. We're delighted to receive an invite for Day of the Devs, but unfortunately, because of production, we couldn't afford to travel at the moment. We'll still be taking a break to look at all the amazing games being presented, but for now we have to focus on the final milestones as we're on the road to launching Sea of Stars in 2023. Sea of Stars is a turn-based RPG. It takes place in the same universe as our first game, The Messenger. It tells the story of two children of the solstice who combine their powers of the moon and the sun to create eclipse magic, which is the one power that can face off against the creations of an evil alchemist known as the Fleshmancer. It takes inspiration from many obvious classics with dungeon crawling and simple puzzles, and of course turn-based combat. Everything that has to do with touching the game, we were really shooting for something where you feel like it's a world you can touch. So hoisting up, jumping down, seamlessly going in and out of water to swim, but also in combat, playing on this timed input mechanics where every single move that you do from a regular attack to a special combo attack, you have input that you can time to make the outcome better, deal more damage, for example. And so the main focus of the game is really the story, a story that keeps moving forward. It's less about this grindy hitting a wall. There's also a bunch of mini games. There's also fishing. You can sail around, hang out on your own boat, talk to the crew to get reminders about what to do next and things like that. So while we're on the road to launch the game in 2023, after 4 years, it seems almost impossible to be saying, but that's what we're headed towards right now. So we will be in touch as soon as we have an official launch date to announce. In the meantime, we hope you enjoy Day of the Devs. Thank you for your time.
Well, that's it. That's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did. It's always very inspiring to see these games and this collection of creativity and developers. I love the developers, I love the games, and I love you watching it, so thank you.
Our 10th anniversary celebration isn't done yet.
Please join us on Saturday, November 5th in San Francisco at the Midway for our first live showcase in over 3 years.
It's completely and totally free. Seriously, just RSVP at the link below. Or if you want all the fun of party crashing and none of the consequences, just show up. We'll have over 70 games on the floor, way more than we could fit in just one digital showcase.
Can't wait to see you there. It's gonna be a blast.
Thank you to our musical performers. If you want to check out their stuff, it's really cool. Go to the links on screen. Thank you once again to the master himself, Dose One. He's been contributing to these digital showcases for Day of the Devs since their inception. He's been DJing at the live events forever, so please check out his cool stuff. Links on screen. We have to thank our sponsors. Without our sponsors, this digital showcase, the live events, none of it would be possible. Extra special thanks to PlayStation and Idea Xbox for being here since the very beginning and supporting Day of the Devs. It's been 10 years. You've made this possible, but we also have a whole bunch of other sponsors that have come on board since we started this thing. We got Skybound Games, Annapurna Interactive, Acapara Games, Armor Games, Atari, Devolver Digital, Digital Eclipse, GDC, Humble Games and Humble Bundle, Kepler Interactive, Kalu Knights, Raw Fury, Razer, Samsung, Steam and the Valve team, Studio MDHR, Summer Game Fest, and Team 17. As this thing has grown, it's gotten way more expensive, and without these sponsors, we could not do any of this.
Go to dayofthedevs.com to keep up to date on all our digital shows and our live events, the future, sign up for our newsletter, and find out what's happening on Day of the Devs.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a blast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and see you in San Francisco, November 5th, maybe.
What games are you going to be able to play at the show? Don't worry, we've got you covered right here with this alphabetical sizzling supercut of every game playable at the show.